Hey everybody, welcome back. I do want to talk to you about something. It's an interesting vlog. It's a new one because this is just something so ridiculous I actually have to talk about it. If you follow me on Facebook, if you follow me on Twitter, some of you might know what might have happened, but I have not elaborated what happened. So I'm going to elaborate right now instead of individually contacting you. Yesterday, I had a gun pulled on me. Yep, someone took it into their mind to think it was a goddamn good idea to pull a gun out on me. Now then, here's the story of what happened. So everyone's filled in. I'm driving down a street called Transit here in Buffalo, and I have my girlfriend in the front seat, and had my turn signal on, and I pull in front of this guy who there was quite enough space. He overreacts, slams his brakes on, says I cut him off, proceeds to call me an asshole, a jerk, whatever, out his window. But he's yelling at me. I'm ignoring him because you know what? I got enough negative shit going on in my life. I don't need that type of stuff going on. And he's just yelling at me, and it's like I just blew him off. So we just kept driving down the road. We hit the corner of Walden and Transit. That's another street that's out here. And I go to turn, and I take the wide turn. He takes the short turn, and as he drives past me, he pulls a gun out and waves it at my car. What? Someone actually waved a gun at me. I mean, like, I'm familiar with guns. I'm very familiar with guns. I know if you're going to use one, you better make sure that you shoot to kill. You never use a gun to threaten anybody. And at that point in time, I'm angry more than freaked out. Crystal, of course, is freaked out about the situation. I've dealt with guns in the past. I'm a gun owner myself. But if you're so stupid that you want to waste your life and wave a gun around, fine, be it. So I called the police. I had to. There's a crazy man driving that's angry with a gun. I have to call the police. I call the police, and as they're talking to me, I'm describing what's going on, the type of vehicle he's driving, and then they ask me for a license plate, and they're like, can you follow him for a little bit? And I'm like, he's got a gun, I don't know. But I did, and I got really close to his license plate, gave the license plate out, and, just gave him all the information. And they're like, which way is he going right now? So I explained them what's going on. And as I'm giving him the directions of where he's going, he pulls into a Walmart parking lot. So I'm like, he pulled into the Walmart. I'm going to go to my destination. That's where he is right now. And not 1 minute after they told me to keep my line open and hung up the phone, 5 police cars pull whizzing past me into the parking lot. And I'm like, well, that guy's busted. There's just no way he could have gotten out that soon. So I get to the mall, and me and Crystal are walking around. We're having a good time. And then I get another phone call from the police department. And they're like, well, we apprehended the individual, but we need you to come to the Walmart and identify him. And I'm like, shit, I don't want him to see my face again. But I still went back there, and they put me into the back of a squad car so the guy wouldn't see me. Now, I've never been in the back of a squad car because, I keep my record nice and squeaky clean. And people who are criminals, I like that is a little torture box. They have a space that is like this big for your ankles, and I have calves. I'm a big guy, so my calves have been walking around. They're not like fat. They're just chunky, and I was having a hard time just getting my ankle part into there, and that's beside the point. We pull up to where the guy's sitting, and before the cop pulls up to the area, he's like, by any chance, do you think it might have been an e-cig? And I'm like, absolutely not. He goes, the guy said it was his e-cig that he waved out the window. I'm like, I'm familiar with a 9mm automatic. I'm sorry. I do know what those look like. My mother used to own one. We used to live in Arizona. I mean, I'm not stupid. We had to get rid of it, but hey, when you move to New York, those are the sacrifices you have to make. This guy had the gun in his car, but that's not the funnier part. This guilty motherfucker parks behind the warehouse, behind the Walmart. I mean, and he's hiding in such an obvious spot. He might as well went to the Walmart, bought a red can of spray paint, and sprayed it along the back of it. Guilty, because he's hiding behind the warehouse of the Walmart, which is an offside thing, and no other car is there. And I'm just laughing as we're driving up to this, and the cop's like, "Is this the car?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's the car." And then they put the guy inside the car, and they're like, "Is that the guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the guy." And it's the most ridiculous thing. And then they tell me, after we've identified the car, identified the suspect, that they did find a gun in his possession, that it was actually a BB gun made to look like a 9mm. It was one of them airsoft BB guns, and it didn't have any tip on it to identify it was a fake gun. So what blows my mind is, over a traffic anger issue, this guy has now had his car towed, impounded, and now has a criminal record because he couldn't keep his goddamn cool at a fucking light. That blows my mind. I can't imagine anyone who would want to throw away their life because someone cut them off. And what bothers me the most, and here's what gets me the most, guys. I'm sorry, I'm like really like, I'm pent up about, I'm like angry about this. What gets me the most is that this guy pulled a gun out. If I was any other person, if I was an off-duty cop, if I was a concealed carry permit, or if I was just some crazy psycho with a goddamn gun myself, this guy could be dead. And it bothers me. It bothers me so much because I was talking to the police officer about the whole scenario after it. I was at the police station, and I'm like, what would happen had he done that to you while you were off duty? He goes, as a police officer, you have a split second to make a choice. And you don't have time to sit there and evaluate the weapon that's in the individual's hand, especially if it doesn't look like a BB gun. And he goes, if he would have come out of that car with that thing in his hand, it would have been even more ridiculous because we wouldn't know how to react. This would have been this would have ended up being another statistic on the board because some individual is too goddamn stupid to realize that he can't be all hard for 3 seconds. It's just, I don't know. It bothers me. Like, as I said, I'm a gun owner, but I've been around guns since I was born. I know how to handle one. I know the proper way of carrying one, especially in the state of New York. I own rifles. And when they're in your car, they're in your trunk in the unloaded position without ammo in it, and that's how you travel with it. But never would I, in my wildest dream, drive around with a rifle in my fucking front seat and brandish it out a window just because someone cut me off. Get over yourself, dude. Enjoy life now. You fucked up. That's all I have to talk about. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for following along. I hope this has been enlightening to some of you. I hope this tells you guys something. If it upsets you guys in some way, I do apologize. But this is the type of stuff that is going on in the world right now that is bothering the crap out of me. Is you got these stupid punks who don't know what they're doing, and then shit happens to them, and then people go, oh, what about this guy? No, this guy's being an idiot. It's pretty much what it is. So I thank you guys very much for watching. I thank you very much for following along. Again, I'm sorry for repeating myself, but and thank you very much for standing here and listening to my little mini rant. I'm going to probably have more of these because I'm in a little feisty mood right now. But if anything, it's been eye-opening to me. And I hope this is eye-opening to you guys. And no matter what type of neighborhood you're in, no matter where you are, there's always going to be one asshole who doesn't know what he's doing, and he's willing to fuck up his life over something so minuscule, so stupid. Don't be that guy. Don't ever be that guy. Because that just bothered me the most, is that you're willing to throw away your life. And life is only so short. Don't waste it. Thank you guys very much for watching. I've been Frosted Fricks. You guys are awesome. Stay frosty, my friends, and as usual, as always, game on.